the whole magnum opus point in all of the, like, Roxas in a hack apparently defaulted and could use Valor form data somewhat successfully, which does make you wonder if they had plans to become Roxas again.
So it's like, I think I brought this up before, but a funny thing to go back to Devil May Cry 2. Apparently, the physical PS2 version of Devil May Cry 2, you can swap the disc and the game does not flip out. You could start Dante's disc and in the middle of a cutscene apparently put in the disc for like the one girl in the game won't like flip out or act weird.
Give my best to the users. Tron wants you.
I feel like it again.
Photon debugger.
Aw,
Fuck.
shit.
Fuck that Keyblade.
The Keyblade's pretty good.
I feel.
Yeah. But is it the Tachyon debugger? Oh my god.
Look.
Somebody last night said something about special relativity, and I was like, we should have a talk about the 12 different dimensions.
I feel like if
With your tachyons.
Tachyons!
How many times have you brought that up in a commentary? Several.
We'll be back soon, so don't
I
worry.
feel like if
Not that
Tron.
many times.
Again, I feel like if Tron was made in the modern age, he would be given the ability to dab.
Goofy. That's
When mods were officially allowed in a Hat in Time, one of the
When
first
you find out that Leon actually used accents, depending on the way they said
I
it.
need to see what that last shakeup
Huh?
did.
You're not
What?
gonna check out the data? It wasn't exactly easy to get.
Tron changed the password to Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
But he
so-
said he's like, that's to the point. Like, it's not the like, you know, they weren't, they got the password right instead of
It's just a few
quotes.
keystrokes. Easy,
Mhm.
right?
There's just a few keystrokes. Easy, right?
Hey, these things take time, okay?
Seesaw is doing a film way of using a computer, just smashing your hands on the keyboard and you somehow hack into the mainframe.
No way. Even Ansem's computer doesn't know.
What you doing?
I thought I'd ask the computer if it can tell us about them nobodies.
Is Goofy secretly the glue holding this group together?
Yes! He's the smartest!
What's this?
The data is corrupt.
Goofy is the smartest one of this group. We've been over this.
There.
No, but it's like, it's amazing when you do actually sit there and think about how often it happens.
Who's this guy?
Just fucking smashing the keyboard actually did work. Motherfucker.
Good, go on. The computer should tell us.
Okay, how the... Okay, I call bullshit on people not being able to know that Mickey isn't the king. Even, like, even when you disregard the, like, everyone would know who Mickey Mouse is, a thing. We have, the Queen is a mouse, and there's a mouse walking around here.
Hey, wait, I want to point out, they asked if he forgot what Ansem looked like, but let's remind everybody, Mickey never met Heartless Ansem.
Or did he?
No, he did not. He was too busy waiting for a world to literally fall to darkness, which implies he was outside of the world.
Oh, that's right.
Why does he look like Sephiroth? Did Nomura did the character designs for Final Fantasy VII, right?
The picture is definitely the one who tried to take over Kingdom Hearts. The one you fellas defeated. But what you actually fought was his Heartless. You see, he wasn't
This
really
stupid
handsome.
explanation.
He just went around
Well,
telling
you
everybody
call that,
how
but we
well
have, he already, at the end of, Kingdom Hearts 1, he had the Heartless symbol on him. So that's actually kind of smart. That's a kind of smart retcon right there.
What do you mean?
We went through
I
all
don't-
that trouble to defeat an imposter?
That's not really a retcon. That's progressive story.
What game said the
What?
parts
At
of-
what point did we have solid facts that Ansem was Ansem? We didn't even know who the fuck Ansem was.
What game says the heart emblem is on the artificially created Heartless?
It's in the Ansem reports. But I mean, at this point, I don't think it's too far-fetched to believe.
I mean,
Ansem Xehanort made his own Heartless body.
I mean, there's
close to
literally
finding him once.
the same symbol on all the things that you fight. So I don't see how somebody couldn't put two and two together and be like, you know, either he just likes wearing the symbol on his chest, or
Some feller named Ansem, who wasn't really Ansem, became a Heartless.
retroactive.
Nobody
Retroactive
that happened.
is what we're gonna do when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. We're going for an explanation of why that man's still alive.
Is the leader of the organization.
You know, it's like,
Or more
This,
importantly, why Xemnas is still alive.
this is Xemnas, Xehanort, Ansem thing. Well, this is 3 players and not 2. This gets to moderate Obito levels of confusing.
What do you mean? We retconned someone getting stabbed with a keyblade as them going back in time. This story passed stupid a long time ago.
That's why I've got to find him and ask him about it.
You started all of this. Because of you, Riku and Kairi. Oh, Your Majesty, do you know where Riku is?
Oh, he jamming.
Please.
He's off being petty somewhere
I'm
else.
sorry. I can't help.
Now, if you want to talk about stupid things, this is stupid.
Really, Your Majesty?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure?
There's no reason why Mickey can't tell him. There's no reason why Riku needs to be petty about the situation either.
Well,
Riku's the anti-rival. He has to
No.
be petty about everything.
remember the context that about he can't tell him because of that thing that was going on with what happened to Riku and the current state he's in.
Most important thing.
Because he's not really himself at the moment is why he can't tell him.
We're safe and sound and free to
And you
choose.
find out more about that
There's
later.
no reason we shouldn't choose
We already
our
kind of
friends.
joked about.
Let's look for Riku and Kairi together.
Fuck this fairy tale power friendship.
Well, we're
bullshit.
also assuming Mickey.
No, stop!
We're also assuming Mickey knows
Stop.
where Riku is.
Start by helping
Don't
out
fuck
here.
this fairy tale power of friendship bullshit. This is why this series was okay. When it was just fairy tale power of friendship bullshit. But it's not that anymore.
It's that with ridiculous time travel plot.
Didn't fairy tale also start to get into time travel?
Let me tell you something. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Time travel is dumb. If your story starts throwing time travel out, stop. Stop right now. Stop.
Right now, One Piece is using it relatively
Stop.
well.
Stop right now.
Hey,
No,
Carson-
there is no relatively well. There is only
But that is...
acceptable and trash.
But that is also, to be fair, with One Piece, again, up until Wano ends, which will, be in like 5 years or whatever.
You wanna know what's well? When
When
Dio stops time. That's well.
like I said,
Time
before-
travel itself is not well.
Like I said, right now, before One Piece has handled time travel pretty well, but that's because it's relatively new, so we haven't had the chance to fuck it up yet.
Well, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure we're gonna do some shenanigans when we try to explain how Luffy's friends weren't killed by Kaido.
Except the character that can time travel can only time travel forward, and they are dead.
And Kaido is a dragon. Oh,
Nothing good comes from time travel.
We're not going to have Whis just show up and do his time resetting nonsense.
Nothing good comes from time travel.
oh, that
Hold on, I'll be right back.
yeah. Then I can make this just short point because it was just funny. But
Say it with me now. Nothing good can come from time travel.
unless you are incredibly diligent
No.
in
There's only one thing that got away with it, and it's Chrono Trigger. Nothing good can come time travel.
And remember the reason Chrono Trigger did time travel and like alternate timelines because they tried to do a coherent story and someone realized we were making plot hole after plot hole, and someone was like, "What if those plot holes are an alternate ending?" Hey,
And
that's...
then someone said,
What are you laughing at?
and then someone said, give that man a raise, and then he went on, and then the guy that was the character designer went on to be a director. That's just a joke. I actually don't know how Nomura was involved in Chrono Trigger. Actually, was he involved in that?
It doesn't matter. Final Fantasy 1 was time travel. That's the saddest part about that entire game. In reality, that game is fucking time travel.
I forget Final Fantasy 1 has some time travel in it.
What do you mean? That's the whole point!
See, because Final Fantasy 1 is bad. It's a bad game. Hasn't aged well at all.
You literally go, fight some bosses, think you won, but you gotta go back, and you literally don't go to like... I think the game tries to sell it to you as a different dimension. You don't go to a different dimension. You go to, like, the past. Where all the 4 bosses you fought are OP as shit. And Garland is OP as shit for some reason. It was in charge of the whole thing.
Now I'm thinking about that old Dragon Ball Z dub censoring where they couldn't say people were being killed, so they were sent to another dimension.
Let's talk about the best Final Fantasy character in existence. Warrior of Light.
This is the part where I'd say the best character is Terra, but Sean isn't here, so that won't trigger
Warrior
him.
of Light is best Final Fantasy protagonist.
Yeah.
Introducing Final Fantasy 1 protag. Complete with silent protagonist syndrome.
Yeah. At least with them, not saying anything, that at least means they won't say anything fucking emo.
What you mean, man? You gotta look for Sephiroth, man. You gotta watch out. They're trying to make you think darkness is the only way.
I don't know how much of this audio you're going to use, if any, at... Oh, he came back in here.
Darkness is the only way.
Okay, he came back in here, so I can say it now.
I might cut, but our rambling was really funny.
No, Sean's
Warrior of Light is best Final Fantasy protagonist.
Hey, you know what? Biggest disappointment from Smash.
No Warrior of Light?
No, if we're gonna call our adventure mode World of Light, Warrior of Light should be in it.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Wait, is that really what you were saying?
No.
No.
Well, I was
I was just making jokes because Warrior of Light is the thing.
What I was going to say, and I just wanted to see how just you two, just your quick opinion on this. It was just this One Piece thing, and when I heard this, I was like, really, people? So a guy was talking about, like, they had the whole big reveal of the one guy is a dragon, and then the chapter has this, like, to be continued moment where Luffy punched him, and then apparently, I was watching a guy talk about that, and he was talking about people's opinions, and a lot of people were, like, super pissed off that Luffy punched him, because people were like, Luffy would never just punch an opponent without thinking. I was like,
Are they watching the same thing we are?
Yeah, exactly. That was the point the guy made.
You said it! That was his point! Apparently people were like, that was uncharacteristic for Luffy to do the elephant punch on him without thinking about the consequences.
Luffy just punching...
Because Luffy is a tactically written character who only does, takes the tactical advantage.
Luffy just punching people without thinking about it led
It's
to
the
the
manga.
Yeah, that led to the most hype moment in One Piece where he fucking punches a celestial dragon.
Why isn't he a character?
I just wanted to make just the side tangent on that for a minute because if that made me laugh. Sean?
Okay,
Yeah, Sean said it.
we're here, so I can talk about my video now because it's actually relevant.
What are you?
Oh.
nuts? We're never gonna win.
What?
I don't know about you, but I'm out of here, sister.
The video I found was talking about Kingdom Hearts' flaw. Talking about the pacing of its story.
Oh, this game is paced like a fucking train wreck.
Now, you would probably make a case if you had good points. Try to make that argument. The problem is, Ryan, did he have any good points? I tried to find some, but I couldn't find any. Were there any good points?
What do you mean, Sean? It's so slow.
So his
the game's pacing is
so his
so
central
slow.
argument are nobodies.
Also, that dancer was bugging out.
They always are. So
Basically, this guy tried to say that the pacing of the story in Kingdom Hearts 2 was hurt by a couple of things. One of those things was basically a comparison to Kingdom Hearts 1. You didn't go to the worlds and basically had basics. He had an issue with the exclusion of the main villain being present within the worlds of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, no,
As in Kingdom Hearts 1, when you went to the Disney worlds,
hold on.
you got a blessing of
Hold
the
on.
fact that the Disney villains of those Disney worlds was the main villain. As opposed to Kingdom Hearts 2, where in reality the main villain is Organization 13, and yet Organization 13 is barely featured
Looks like she ran away.
in most of the worlds.
Well, that was pretty lame of her.
I guess we picked
Alright,
the
it's-
wrong side.
So, the problem is, the central point of his argument, you know, in his opinion, this game's pacing is ruined?
Fine.
Mysterious Tower.
If you're looking to pick sides, why don't you pick Leon's? They can always use help.
You know why?
Why?
Yensid tells you about nobodies.
I do kind of see the point there because this is a point I think Matt brought up when SGV played this game. He had brought up it feels like the game designers they like made the opening with Roxas. They introduced nobodies in the organization, and then partway through development, they were like, "Oh fuck, nobodies." We were kind of doing that, so the latter half of the game just kind of shoves them back in.
Stop.
He
Hold on,
thinks
hold on.
Mysterious Tower
Hold on.
hurt the game's pacing because Yen Sid told you everything you needed to know about nobodies.
That's what I thought you were getting at.
Yeah, well, and here's my problem with that and what Carson said.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be weird if nobodies just started attacking us?
Ooh boy.
Because you could sit there and tell me, we're nobodies. We're supposed to be running into dusks, aren't we?
Why does this man just pop up?
Because we heard about Sephiroth.
I just
Yeah, but why does he just pop up?
Sephiroth. Give me shit.
emo.
Donald, how are you for sure?
The one who's supposed to
Anyway,
How are both of you for sure?
You hear that?
Because in reality, even in Kingdom Hearts 1, y'all still didn't face him.
You hear that? That's the sound of 1,000 fangirls coming
Anyway.
at once.
The problem is that
He said he's got a score to settle with you.
I see.
wouldn't it be so? Yes, I see your point, Carson. And yes, and if you're thinking of game logic, you introduce new enemy, so I should be fighting new enemy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't fight new enemies until this point in the game.
That last bit of life.
Why do you think that
always
is?
the hardest to snuff out.
Yes, we met the organization. The organization made their presence known, and the only time we really fought nobodies before now is in Twilight Town.
Mm-hmm.
But the organization hasn't been involved in anything we've been doing because it doesn't.
Oh yeah, they totally weren't involved in Beast Castle.
It doesn't serve them to do anything.
Oh yeah, they totally weren't involved in Beast Castle. I think that area up there is the room I was thinking of, so now that the game is pointing out, I'm pretty sure that means you couldn't have gone in there.
Yeah, that's a good room for Master Form Grinding, you're correct.
And the game just pointed out, so I'm pretty sure I was right. You couldn't have
It's
done
also a
that.
good room to get my ass
Well,
kicked.
see, what you're
Yep.
saying,
But
you're saying is a point that he made. He made the point that Beast Castle was a prime example of good usage in this game's story. Why? Because Zaladin spent most of the time of the game there, as well as you fought Zaladin there.
Okay, guys, it's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So anyway, how do you feel about how the organization and the nobodies were integrated into the story? I agree with Carson, it really does feel like they completely forgot about those enemies and characters until about halfway through the game, because you start off and Yan Sid says that you will run into a ton of nobodies, and that doesn't happen. Then you go to Hollow Bastion and you run into the organization, and that sets them up as the major characters that you will encounter in the game. But then you go through the worlds and you never see the organization or the nobodies. Only when you return to Hollow Bastion that one time do you finally start to see the organization and nobodies. Sean said that the organization and nobodies were not important to the plot until that exact moment where they started attacking Hollow Bastion, but in my opinion, he is just defending incredibly lazy writing and a ton of plot holes, because why introduce these characters and enemies as antagonists if you're going to then pretty much completely ignore them until most of the game is over? Anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links and my Discord link are in the video description. But now, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you want to help our communities grow, please follow me on social media. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you all next time.